Welcome to Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy. And this is where characters gather. So it's Monday morning, and I had a very slow reading week last week. Not for a lack of time or desire to read, but rather because I just think my brain wasn't in the mood, and everything I picked up was just eh. So I found other ways to amuse myself or not. Part of it is undoubtedly because Cedar Fever was bad for me last week. It seems to be better today, so that's a good thing. So up first, Kindle. I had a NetGalley release of Death by a Thousand Sips by Gretchen Rue. It is the second in the series. I will put the series name down below. This was a NetGalley arc. It's a cozy mystery. It was perfectly fine, but it wasn't as charming as the first one. I didn't enjoy it as much, and that may be because of the mood I was in when I was reading, which was the same mood all week, or just maybe that it was a sophomore book and it read like a sophomore book. The title doesn't relate very well to the events of the story. Yes, it ties in with the overall theme the author is going for. The protagonist runs a bookstore that sells tea, death by a thousand sips, but it doesn't go with the rest of the story. It was probably a 3.5 for me. I can't give a 3.5 on NetGalley, so it's gonna get a 3 on NetGalley. It's an easy read, but it didn't knock my socks off, and it didn't say, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next in the series next year. So one bad wasn't great. Up next, I finished Boundary Waters by William Kent Kruger. This is the second in the Cork O'Connor series, and this was on my 2023 reading challenge. I had it listed for winter. Book takes place at the end of October, beginning of November, so it's really not a winter book, so I'm going to count it for autumn instead. This was a 4 for me. It wasn't a bad book. It was a great, suspenseful, well-written character study. It surprised me. I didn't guess the bad guy, which is always a good thing for me. I think the reason it wasn't a 5-star is that there's a child involved, and the child is put in danger, and while Cork does his best to keep the kid safe and the danger to the child minimized, it's still just kind of but overall it was a great book. I will definitely continue the series. As you all know, I recently snagged a couple of the later ones from the library in my January book haul, so it isn't a reflection on the series, it's more a reflection on my reading mood. And that is really all I read this week. I started my book club book for March. It's for me. My book club, based on the text so far, they're enjoying it immensely. I'm not. I'll finish it. It's nothing special. I started a couple other books. I set them aside. I wasn't I didn't DNF anything, but I just wasn't really in the mood to read a lot, so I didn't read anything else. And I probably won't read anything today. So what am I going to read next week, the rest of the week? I don't know yet. I have a book haul coming up. I have a library haul video coming up. I have the March pile of possibilities coming up. I don't know what my choices are going to be yet. I know I'm going to read a couple of middle grade books for middle grade March. I rarely participate in, the theme of the month that exists on BookTube, but I have several middle grade books on my list, so I might as well knock them out this month. But I don't have anything set right now, so I will let you know as I know. How was your reading week? Hopefully it was more productive and enjoyable than mine. Please comment down below and like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.